Hi, everybody. Welcome to my homestead and welcome to my channel. My name is Jared, and wanted to take a look at what's going on today. Um, Yesterday was crazy. Probably most of you watched that video that I did called Things Just Got Crazier, because before that, suddenly there was this thing going on with Yellowknife in Northwest Territories, Canada, where the entire town got evacuated because of an approaching wildfire. And then the day after that, even more craziness broke out, where you had this much larger city called Kelowna, and then there's West Kelowna on the other side of the lake in the surrounding areas that had a wildfire basically burn parts of West Kelowna, and they're still trying to control it. And we talked about a few things there. Talked about Tenerife in Spain. But immediately after I posted that video, and as I continued to look through X, formerly Twitter, immediately, like within just like the last few minutes after I posted this, there were these videos and pictures coming out of a place called Medical Lake, Washington, which is by Spokane. And so I did a video about it right away, put it on members only. If you want to join members only, you can click on any of these videos. Just go to my channel's home page and then go down and click on one of these videos. It'll prompt you to join. If you only have Apple devices, there might be a problem because of your iTunes account or whatever. I don't know exactly, but like people that have Apple products seem to have a problem with signing up for members only. So if any of you know the solution of how to work around that, put it in the comments below, because I think some people figured out how to do it. But anyway, you can sign up for members only. But anyway, today things have gotten even crazier from yesterday. So how am I going to do this? Let's just look at let's go to Google Earth first. So if you didn't watch that video, we went over a number of different cities and towns that have burned in the past. For example, Lytton, British Columbia in 2021. And then, of course, down in California, we have these three towns and cities that burned: Grizzly Flats, 2021, Berry Creek, 2020, Paradise, California, 2018, Greenville, 2021. Okay, so I have these icons for these place markers. And then the ones that are currently in danger, I put in yellow, like Kelowna right here. And then Yellowknife all the way up here. The entire city has been evacuated. It's surrounded by fire right now. Well, here's the newest one. And then I have a few more after this one that I'm going to show you on the other side of the world. So Medical Lake, Washington. Okay, you'll see directly to the north, you have Fairchild Air Force Base. And then to the northeast, you have Spokane, which has a sizable population. And the fire essentially jumped this lake. So you have West Medical Lake, and I don't know, here we go, Medical Lake. So the fire jumped Medical Lake. And then I believe in one of the tweets that we're about to see, the fire has also jumped Silver Lake. But it has essentially destroyed a sizable portion of this town very quickly, and it's still going right now. They do have a number of how much has been burned so far, but it's not over yet. And so the question is it going to continue to work its way toward Spokane? Is it going to work its way toward Fairchild Air Force Base right here? So we're going to take a look at that. We're going to look at updates on Kelowna and Yellowknife. We're also going to look at some updates with Tenerife, which is part of Spain. It's the name of the main island of the Canary Islands. So this situation isn't over with yet. There are different towns and cities that are in danger right now. There's evacuations going on there. And then new just for today, I was going to do a completely different video. I had in mind what I wanted to do today, but it's just like this stuff doesn't stop. If you look at my inbox right now, for my email, it's just loaded with emails. So I'm sorry I can't mention all of you. It's a lot of the same stuff. It has to do with these fires that are going on. So there is a fire going on here near Alexandropoli, that has caused these communities right here, Doriskos, Pefka, and Melia. There's evacuations going on here, and the fires, it seems like it's pretty close to this main city, Alexandropoli. And so we have that going on today. These are smaller towns. It looks like, not very many people live in these tiny little towns, but there's been evacuations in this area. And then there's another fire going on in Greece. If I can find it, zoom out. Thessaloniki. And yes, this is the place of Thessalonians from the Bible. Thessaloniki. There's a fire going on near here. So I think what we should probably do is kind of do the same thing as the last video that I did. Let's start by looking at Twitter. And I think that or X. And I think this is roughly where I left off from last time. So this is Kelowna, a landfill that caught fire. And my understanding is that this is near a university there. I'm not so sure if the university has burnt down or not. I can't remember. There's so many little bits of information coming out. It's hard to keep track of everything. But this is the one going on. So it would probably help if let's do this. Let's go to this map. Let's go to Kelowna. This is a city of 150,000 people. But the metro area, including all these towns and stuff, is I think it was 224,000. So you can see that the fire started over here on the west side, and then it jumped the lake over here. So north of the actual city of Kelowna is where things are burning, and they're trying to prevent it from coming down here. There was a resort. I don't know if it was on Traders Cove right here, but there was a resort that's been burnt down. And then there's one thing that I saw that said that most of these houses right here in Traders Cove have been burnt down. So there already have been a number of structures that have been burnt, at the very least on the west side of the lake. But anyway, you have Kelowna, and then you have West Kelowna over here. Okay, so you have that going on. Oh yeah, look, structure on fire in Traders Cove area. Yeah, so we're just looking at Traders Cove. So there you go. There's one that's being burnt, sadly. All right, this is in Germany. They're having crazy stuff going on there. I don't know how close Nuremberg is to Frankfurt, but Frankfurt has been seeing a lot of flooding. All right, this is Kelowna. The Hotshot Wake Up is the name of this account. The McDougal Creek Fire in Kelowna has jumped Okanagan Lake. State of emergency declared. Okay, whatever. So you can see a really dramatic video. Oh yeah, Buenos Aires. Flooding there. I guess I might as well. Let me give you the update. It's getting hard for me to remember if I brought this up. I don't think that I have. Let's go to Capital City Disasters. Yeah, no, this is brand new. I still have the new marker here. So this was 2 days ago. Buenos Aires, Argentina, flooding, evacuations, over 50 flights canceled. So just another capital city that's been affected by some kind of disaster. I mean, look at just since August. Beijing, Salt Lake, Ljubljana, Niamey, Juneau, Lahaina. Lahaina being like the historic capital of Hawaii. So it's, I'm counting it for that reason. So I think that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think I counted that right. 11 capital cities that have been affected in some way, ranging from earthquakes to floods to assassinations to military coups to wildfires. Just since the beginning of this month. Holy cow. So, all right, so back to this. You can see that it looks like this is probably a bus that is flooding. All right, here's Kelowna again. Of course, this is a time lapse, and you can just see how dramatic that is. Hopefully this, the main part of the city proper, is going to be safe, but this is still ongoing. That's Kelowna. This is the earthquake in Bogota in Colombia. So you can see structural damage to this building. What is this? Kelowna. This is 11:19 a.m. Friday, 18th and Watt Park in Lower Mission near downtown. Looking across Okanagan Lake. All right. More of the earthquake in Bogota, so it did cause damage. As far as I know, at this point, only one person died, and it wasn't because of the earthquake itself. The lady, I don't understand it, but she panicked and she like jumped out of the building and she died. So I don't know the details of that, but all right, Kelowna, Bogota. Don't worry, I have video here of Medical Lake in Washington, so that's coming up. This is still Kelowna. All right, let's speed things up a little bit here. Okay, here we go. So this one is still Kelowna. So this is the first one that I have of the fire going on in Medical Lake in Washington near Spokane. Okay, started out with this, put out by the National Weather Service, but very quickly, I was like watching this real time, and it like spread very quickly. And there was one point where they were telling people, go to the elementary. That's going to be like a rallying point. If you need to be evacuated, go to the elementary. And then just within like an hour or two, the elementary was on fire. And I think it burnt down based on some of the tweets that I've seen. Anyway, but the name of the fire is the Gray Fire. So let's leave Kelowna on this. Let's go down to the Spokane area. And here you see the Gray Fire. Let me click on this. I mean, as far as wildfires go, this is very small. It's only 107 acres. That's it. That's so small, but it doesn't have to be big to be disastrous. And you can see, I mean, there's Medical Lake. I don't know how up to date these borders are, but as you can see, it is right up against what seems to be probably the downtown area. I would assume that this Lake Street right here is probably like the main street. But, well, you know, since we're looking at this right now, let me show you what I have. So on KXLY, there's this article, Firewatch, 185 homes destroyed by catastrophic fire in Medical Lake. And then in this video, this firefighter is being interviewed. This is let's see. According to Spokane County Fire District 3 Chief Cody Rohrbach, the houses were consumed by fire overnight. The Gray Fire was one of at least 3 that ignited Friday and has fanned high winds. Now, as you watch this video, and at about the 1 minute mark, he talks about that's the number so far, and that they expect that to rise. And the feeling that I get is that the whole city is going to be destroyed, if not more than half at the very least. But it doesn't seem like it's really going to make it. The spokesman review: Medical Lake wildfire has burned 185 structures and 9,000 acres. Oh, okay. Well, that's more up to date than what was on that. This must be pretty behind. This is probably pretty behind. Okay. Have some highlights here. The wildfire that burned through Medical Lake Friday afternoon has burned 185 structures, including homes and outbuildings, and torched 9,000 acres of communities, scrubland, and trees. 1 person is dead. It is 0% contained, according to the Washington Department of Natural Resources. The devastation began to come into sharper focus Saturday morning as fire officials began the grim task of assessing damage. Thousands of people remain evacuated. And it's the same chief. Fire officials, including the chief, said, fire officials, including Spokane Fire District Chief Cody Rohrbach, continue to worry about the potential for worsening conditions, such as gusting winds Saturday afternoon. But I'm telling you, when you watch this video, he's talking about houses and structures being burnt down. So, okay, then I think that's all I have for this. So this is an article from today. All right. Okay. This is the view of downtown Spokane of the smoke from the fire in Medical Lake. So it's visible from Spokane itself. And you can see it's just really dramatic. The entire city evacuated, just like Yellowknife. When I saw that the entire city of Yellowknife was evacuated, I was like, wow, that's an entire city. But then, just within a week or so, you have one in Washington State that's entirely evacuated. This is just insanity. This is crazy. Look at this one. That's a really pretty looking lake. Hope everyone is fine and this fire is contained before it reaches Medical Lake. Nope, it reached it. Tough seeing eastern Washington constantly hit with brutal fires. Smoke from Gray Fire near Medical Lake is wafting over Spokane. Strong winds can't be helping right now. Here's some ash. Like, there's a whole bunch of people posting like how ash is like falling around them. They're taking like pictures and videos like this. All right, this is back to Kelowna, and you can see these are how each one of these is a house if you look closely. This is Kelowna. You can see there's a bunch of traffic. I'm assuming this is to get out of Kelowna because there's been a lot of evacuations. There's a map that shows the evacuation areas. So you can see that West Kelowna, it seems like, just eyeballing it, probably 40% of that city is under this like red evacuate now areas. And then across the lake, here you can see Kelowna, like downtown Kelowna down here. And then north of there, and unfortunately you can see a bunch of homes in this red area. You see all those right there. And then all along this road. And up here, there's a bunch of homes right here. Jeez Louise. Let's go back to this. Let's go up to Kelowna. Where is it? Is this it? I'm going to have to zoom out. Hold on. Give me just a second. There's Kelowna. Yeah. Yeah, look at these roads. They're all within this like area where there's the hot spots. All of them presumably from the fire. So look at all these homes right here. I don't know if they're okay or not, but that's not the place that you want to be right now, obviously. So there's a bunch of homes and stuff up in this area. I mean, look at, oh my gosh, look at all these right here. It's just like all these secluded neighborhoods. Oh, geez. So, yeah, a lot of people evacuating. More really nice houses that are burning as viewed from the lake. All right, back to Medical Lake in Washington. Really dark smoke. More of the ash that's falling down. More traffic. Back to Kelowna. Cheney School. This is by Medical Lake. In fact, sorry to keep switching back and forth. I think Cheney is the next. That's like the next place that is in danger. Where is it? Oh, right here, Cheney. And there's a fire over here. The West Anderson fire. So there's this fire that's affecting Medical Lake, and then this fire that is right next to Cheney. Man, that could be another town that's potentially going to burn. Who knows? Columbia, more things from there. You can see that cell tower swaying from the earthquake. Yeah, this is the one. Well, oh, no. Shelter at the high school, at Cheney High School. Okay. I think I may have been wrong about that elementary story. Kelowna, Medical Lake from the air. Look at all that smoke. That's insane. Radar is picking up a huge amount of smoke from the wildfire near Medical Lake. That is an insane video. I wish it was a little bit longer though. Now look at Kelowna. This is like later. Now look how thick it is. Maybe it's because they're getting like closer to where the fire is, but my gosh. That is not how you want your city to look. Huge fire in Medical Lake, Washington. Medical Lake. Viewing it from Cheney. This is viewing it from west of Spokane. More ash. Sorry, I'm trying to get through these quickly. I think there's more I seem to recall that there's more I want to look at. Kelowna. Oh my gosh. I think this one's up by the university. Yeah. People are driving through the landfill by the University of British Columbia that's on fire. So I think he's referring just to the landfill, not necessarily the campus. Oh yeah, here's that resort that I was talking about. Lake Okanagan Resort. It is now completely burnt down. 1, 2, 3. Completely burnt down. Oh my gosh. And you know what? I haven't seen any videos any like information about how many structures have been destroyed in the Kelowna area yet. All I know is for sure is that there have been some destroyed. I mean, here's one right here. Here, this is the resort. I've updated my spreadsheet. Okay, so originally this was going to be my spreadsheet where I tracked only cities that have been completely burnt down by wildfire. But I realized that I should probably include not just that, but just cities in general that have been partially burnt by fire. So, for example, what I have is the current update on Medical Lake, Washington. A population of 5,000 people, 1 death so far, and so far 185 buildings destroyed, with that number expected to rise. So far with Kelowna, there are no numbers that I've seen. None. But just based on what we've seen, in fact, let's go to Google Earth. We've seen all those pictures of the fire coming down the mountain over here, like coming down these mountains. And as you can see, it's like kind of like mostly north, but all along the shoreline, you have all these houses. And it seems like these are the houses that we're seeing being burnt in those videos. And there is not just a few of them. There are many. And then there's this up here. This is, I think this is Trader Cove or Trader's Cove. You have this entire, I don't know if this is like a town or census, what do they call it? Census designated areas or whatever. Not big enough to be a town or a city, but just, I don't know. Maybe this is like, I don't know what it is, but I'm willing to bet that this, excuse me. I'm willing to bet that this is destroyed. Trader's Cove. Geez, and that, gosh. And then look. Oh, look at this. We were looking at this area. This is where the hot spots are. There's Magic Estates, and there's just like a ton of homes up in here. And then look at all of this over here. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that there was all this stuff over here. McKinley Landing. Oh, there's homes going all the way up to the peak of this mountain thing right here. Let's go. Sorry, I got to go back to that. I don't mean to be like, all scattered. Hopefully you're following along okay. It's kind of being dictated by the way that I posted things or retweeted things on Twitter. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. Wilden. Where's that? Why isn't it showing up on here? Well, Wilden is like basically right here. It's a bunch of homes. It doesn't look like there's any hot spots down in this area down here, but it does look like it's all up along this ridge or this mountain. And then up in here, is that the university or what is this? I don't know what that is. So, holy cow. So these neighborhoods right here, these are in danger's way. Okay, so anyway, yeah, it looks like this whole area is in danger. All right, let's go back to X. More pictures of that resort that's been destroyed. Back to Medical Lake. Back to Kelowna. Crowds of people are gathering down at the lake watching the fire. So obviously this was like the first night that it came up and over the mountain, and it is quite a sight to see. Oh my gosh. This is a fire in Abilene from Chase Benton. Unreal scenes in Abilene. Now, I wish I could show you what I've been seeing lately, but I feel like I've been seeing a lot of fires like this. Like there was one in Gilbert. Was it in Gilbert? Let's see. Gilbert, Arizona fire? No, not fire department. Autofill. Let me just see if I can find a story that covers that. I think it was this right here. Well, anyway, there were some pretty incredible videos coming from Twitter. I feel like I've been seeing a lot of fires with like really black smoke or just a lot of smoke. But this one's in Abilene, Texas, and as you can see, that is a ton of smoke. I don't know. I wish I had a way that I could like really track everything, but I am but a man, so I can only do so much. This is Abilene as well. Abilene. I'm gonna have to go back and check on that. Why don't we do it right now? Abilene fire. There's nothing too recent. This one's from 4 hours ago. Taylor County Hill top fire burns 400 acres so far. A large wildfire could easily be seen from Coleman County on Friday afternoon, burning around 50 miles to the north of Coleman in Taylor County. The fire between Abilene and Tuscola has been named the Hilltop Fire as it burned east of Highway 83/84. As of late Friday night, the fire is said to be 25% contained and 400 acres in size. Numerous aircraft. Okay, so I don't know. They're not talking about like Abilene being in danger necessarily, but I guess I'll have to follow up with that. Medical Lake. Medical Lake. Medical Lake. Now here's one. People with fire on both sides of the road or the highway. Just another one to add to the list of different videos and stuff that we've seen of fire on both sides of a road or a railroad. This is just insane. Oh yeah, look at this. Here's like a fire tornado. Now we're looking at Tenerife. Look at that. Look at the buildings right here. Look how close they are to this fire. A few days ago, a wildfire started on my island, Tenerife, which has grown to be the biggest one in contemporary history of the Canary Islands. Yesterday, I was evacuated as the fire got close to my parents' farm, along with thousands of people, heartbroken to see my land bleed. And I wish I had better updates on what's going on there. Tenerife. Okay, now here's Medical Lake. We can start to see the first images of some of the destruction, and you can see some houses have burnt down. Medical Lake. Okay, this says leaving North Shuswap today as evacuation order, and thus one stretch just past Scotch Creek store by one lane bridge. Okay, leaving North Shuswap. Where in the heck is that? Let's look it up on Google Earth. All right, so this is just a little bit north of Kelowna. Let's go to the fire map. Zoom out. Oh, here we go. Here's come back. Name. of lake. Where'd you go? Here's Shuswap Lake or whatever. So there's this fire going on up here. So that's what you're seeing in this video. Again, people running for their lives, trying to get out of this dangerous situation with fire on both sides of the road. Well, I'm assuming it's on both sides of the road. Oh my gosh. Looks like neon trees. And no, I'm not trying to reference the band Neon Trees. The Gray Fire, Medical Lake. Now it's nighttime. What is this? This is Medical Lake, nighttime, flying over that area. Still got protests going on in Israel. Okay, Fire Photo Girl. Highway 177 and 62 through Joshua Tree have flowing water across the roads. Flooding is already happening, and the storms are passing through fairly quickly. Once the heavier rain starts Sunday, my best advice is not to be on the roads. So she, of course, is referring to the situation with Hurricane Hillary, which is currently a Category 3. So now it's been downgraded, but it's still making its way up toward California. And why don't we go ahead and cover that story right now? I have an update on that. So CNN weather. Hurricane Hillary prompts historic tropical storm warning for California as Southwest braces for dangerous rain and flooding. Okay. Residents in the Southwest are bracing for catastrophic and life-threatening flooding as Hurricane Hillary is expected to pummel the region as a rare tropical storm beginning Saturday, that's today, and lasting into next week. The storm has sped up, now moving at 16 miles per hour, and is currently located 235 miles west of the southern tip of Baja California Peninsula. Hillary is expected to continue to weaken as it moves northwestward through cooler waters toward Southern California. The storm is moving faster than expected, which will bring the impacts into the U.S. sooner. Flooding rain from the storm will start to arrive in the Southwest on Saturday. And when was this posted? Well, this was 14 hours ago, so it was Saturday at that time. I'm recording this at 1:31 p.m. Saturday. Okay, so back to here. Flooding rain from the storm will start to arrive in the Southwest on Saturday, well in advance of Hillary's core of stronger winds. Those winds could arrive as soon as Sunday morning, along with more prolific and dangerous rainfall, according to the National Hurricane Center. Quote, Hillary has sped up a bit, along with a slight shift eastward in its track. This results in Sunday morning through Sunday evening being the time frame of most impact, said the National Weather Service in San Diego. So that's kind of a problem because if it's going more eastward, I mean, that's good for Los Angeles and San Diego, but it's not so good for Las Vegas, which would be more eastward. So, but let's continue. The deluges could bring more than a year's worth of rain to parts of California, Nevada, and Arizona. Well, and we read in an article yesterday that in some places it could bring 3 years worth of rain to certain locations. So we'll just have to see. Okay, Nevada Governor Joe Lombardo announced Friday that 100 state National Guard troops will be deployed in southern Nevada, which may see significant flooding. So, and Las Vegas is in southern Nevada. So I guess we'll see what happens. Parts of Southern California face a risk for excessive rainfall. Also, the first level 4 of 4 threat to be issued for that area. This level of risk is exceptionally rare. From 2010 to 2020, high risks were issued on fewer than 4% of days per year on average, but were responsible for 83% of all flood-related damage and 39% of all flood-related deaths. Research from the Weather Prediction Center shows. So, again, just to summarize that, when there's a level 4 of 4 threat in the past for that stretch of 10 years, that level was responsible for 83% of all flood-related damage and 39% of all flood-related deaths. And that's what is forecasted right now. That's the threat level, 4 of 4. Man, this is so crazy. Everything is just like falling apart right now. New spot fire on the hill near Clifton. I'm assuming that this is near Kelowna. I'm not sure. Okay, now we're getting into the wildfire near Alexandropoli, however you pronounce that, in Greece. So again, that's going to be over here. It's in the northeast part of the country. So, like I said, it seems like the towns that are immediately in danger and that are being evacuated are these ones right here, along with another one that I wasn't able to find called Bath, but it's because I translated the tweet, so maybe it's just like spelled different, and so the translation didn't come through. But whatever the case, in fact, let's go to Zoom Earth. Let's see what that looks like. Let's go over here to Greece. There's Alexandropoli. And so you see that the fire is kind of up in this area right here, which corresponds with, those areas that I said were being evacuated. So it's like somewhere around here. Okay, so let's go back to X. So here's one video of it. And, if you didn't know any better, if you took out the buildings and mountains, if you were just looking at the clouds of smoke, you wouldn't be able to tell if this was Abilene, if it was Kelowna, if it was Medical Lake. They all look the same. It's crazy how similar they all look. Here you go, tons of smoke. Several towns are being evacuated, is what this says. Varios pueblos están siendo evacuados. All right. Here's that list of towns. This is where I get this from. Evros is on fire. Oh, hashtag Evros. I guess I missed that one. Where's Evros? Evros, Greece. Is it a town or is it like a province? I don't know. I'm not going to find that. I'm not going to find that out right now. But Evros is on fire 10 kilometers from Alexandropoli. The villages of Dorico, Melia, Pefka, and Baths are being evacuated. New fires in the northern part of Greece, Alexandropoli. Sorry, some of these are repeats. Many smaller towns being evacuated between fire and Alexandropoli from where the photo is taken. I mean, just judging by this this photo, it looks like it's pretty close to Alexandropoli. Did I put that on my thing up here? No. Gosh, and I didn't look it up either. Let's see how big that city is. Alexandropoli City. Let's go to this. Is the largest city in Greek Thrace, in the region of East Macedonia in Thrace, with a population of 71.6 thousand. So this is a very sizable city. Have no way of knowing if it's going to make its way to the city. If it does, that is going to be horrific. All right, here's Medical Lake. And you can see the fire in the city itself. You can actually see it in action. All these homes and stuff right there next to these fires. My gosh. Okay, this is Zach Zapponi. This is just devastating. 185 structures lost around Medical Lake. This is my parents' street. Their house is gone. My uncle and aunt's house is gone too. Thankfully, they all made it out safely. Gosh, this is another one where it just looks like a bomb went off. Oh my gosh. This is so insane. Back to Greece. 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 Where's this? Oh, this is Medical Lake. I suppose this is like that same, probably the same flight. Maybe it's a different one. And again, if you didn't know any better, if you didn't know that Medical Lake, the Medical Lake fire happened, you would assume that this was Lahaina, because Lahaina, there was a video that looked just like this, a plane flying over Lahaina, and it looking just like this. Okay, where's this? And then this is Greece. So that's all that I have from X. There's this story by ABC 8 News, WRIC. Large wildfire ravages forest in northern Greece as 7 villages are ordered to evacuate. Greek authorities on Saturday ordered 7 villages evacuated near the northeastern border with Turkey due to a large summer wildfire burning out of control and whipped on by high winds. The fire service said more than 100 firefighters, assisted with 9 water-dropping aircraft, were struggling to contain the blaze. The forest fire broke out on early Saturday near the village of Melia, east of the town of Alexandroupolis. The evacuation orders were issued as a precaution, and no damage to buildings or injuries to humans were reported. Authorities shut down a section of a major highway in the area due to heavy smoke drifting across it. Another smaller wildfire was burning outside Thessaloniki in the north, the second largest city in Greece. So we have to watch that one too, but I did verify Thessaloniki is in fact the city referenced or the city that the letter was sent to from Paul that we now have in the New Testament known as Thessalonians, right? The first and second Thessalonians. Now, I have a new city that I added to my spreadsheet called Kiatari, and this was just earlier, just a month ago. Okay, in Rhodes, a black scar has been scorched across the middle of the island to the south town of Kiatari. So here you go, all the way down to Kiatari. This city was pretty well damaged. Here's before, here's after. Okay. The flames have destroyed many homes and businesses in the town, and that's about as specific as I can find So it doesn't seem like that the whole town was destroyed. Just judging by this satellite picture, you see structures that look like they're still intact, but it just says many homes and businesses in the town were destroyed. And you can see the damage here, right? And I think that's all I have for this article. So I added that to my spreadsheet. This actually happened before Lahaina. This was on the 24th of July, of all days, for that to happen. The population of the town is only 163. And the best that I know is that many homes and businesses were destroyed. So I'm not counting this as, I'm doing all the completely destroyed towns in black. And then any town that's been damaged, meaning structures have been burned or there's been deaths, I'm doing in this like reddish color. This article is from today. This is Reuters. The fires moved so rapidly on Friday that a number of people under evacuation order went from 4,500 to 15,000 in an hour, while another 20,000 were under evacuation alert. The province currently accounts for a third of Canada's 1,062 active fires. The flames have already destroyed several structures in West Kelowna, and authorities have been warning that the province could potentially face the worst couple of days of the fire season this year. And I think that's essentially going on right now this weekend. There's this little part here about Yellowknife. There hasn't been a lot of news coming out of there, but this is what Reuters has. The escalation of British Columbia. Okay, wait. The escalation in British Columbia comes as the northern Canadian city of Yellowknife evacuated most of its roughly 20,000 residents due to a large approaching blaze. People left their homes and property behind on Thursday and Friday to seek refuge in neighboring provinces due to the threat of the creeping fire, cutting off land exits, and potentially doing worse harm. Residents and tourists drove away on roads flanked by fire and smoke, while local and federal authorities flew out some others. The massive blaze threatening Yellowknife, the Northwest Territories' capital city, made little headway on Friday as firefighters held it back. But strong winds could still blow the blaze toward the city, and it could reach the outskirts this weekend, the Territories Fire Service has cautioned. So I don't know. That's just all we can do is just kind of like keep an eye on it and see what happens. In Tenerife, thousands forced to flee as wildfires burn out of control. Around 26,000 people have been forced to flee wildfires on the Spanish island of Tenerife this morning as a blaze raging in the north of the island remained out of control. Earlier in the week, Mr. Clavijo called the fire the most complex the Canary Islands have faced in 40 years due to a combination of hot, dry, and windy weather, as well as difficult terrain. More evacuations have been ordered this morning due to worsening weather conditions overnight. Quote, "The weather has changed and we have to evacuate towns in the north of Tenerife, specifically 5 areas." Manuel Miranda, regional counselor of the Territorial Policy, Territorial Cohesion and Water, told reporters. Mr. Miranda said temperatures had risen overnight while the humidity had dropped and wind had increased. He said more evacuations had been necessary because of the danger and proximity of the fire, adding that so far authorities have avoided any human loss, and that's our main objective. According to the World Meteorological Organization, Europe is the world's fastest warming continent, which has been heating at twice the global average since the 1980s. And I think that's pretty much all I'm gonna do for this one. Yeah, possible that further evacuations may take place if the fire spreads. So it seems like right now, as I'm doing this video, we're pretty much like right in the middle of it. We're probably gonna have to wait a few more days, maybe even longer, before we know the full extent of what happened. We're still waiting to see the full extent of what happened in Lahaina. We still don't even know that. Let's do Maui update and see if there's any update today, because I haven't checked. Yeah, there is. Death toll rises to 114. So the last time I did a video, it was at 111. Maui officials confirmed Friday that the wildfire death toll has risen to at least 114, while the search for hundreds of missing people continued in the historic coastal port of Lahaina, which was almost completely destroyed by the blaze. Only 6 of the victims so far have been publicly identified. Yeah, so we still don't even know what's happened here. So I don't know. I don't remember any time in my life seeing anything like this. I can say that for sure with Canada, because this is the worst wildfire season that Canada has ever experienced in recorded history, so I know that for sure. But as far as like these towns that are being destroyed, either completely or partially, I'm not so sure that I've seen as much as we are right now. You can put in the comments like if you've seen worse or whatever, or if you've noticed a difference between, 60s, 70s, 80s, or whatever decades compared to now. But it seems like things are pretty insane right now. I feel like this is like Elder Maxwell said, this is essentially a compression of events that we're seeing. And I'm shocked. I'm really shocked that over just like a few days, it's just like every day that passes, there's like a new city that's now in danger of wildfires. Is there going to be some other city later today? Once I post this video, is there going to be another one that suddenly starts popping up on X? I don't know. Holy cow. And then we're going to have to watch what happens in California and Las Vegas. If you're in those areas, please be smart and be safe and prepare. Be ready to leave if that's what you need to do. Yeah, okay. Well, that's going to be it for this one. Everyone stay safe. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, like this video if you liked it, leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Also, make sure to share it, and I'll talk to you guys later.